نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Respect viewers and listeners, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This Quranic program is presented by Adult Quranic Education Program, Srinagar. Today, we shall try to read and then simultaneously understand a few verses, starting from verse number 23. Verse number 23 of chapter 2, Al-Baqarah. Verse number 23, please. Please hold a copy of Quran in your hands and focus your attention towards these verses. This is for the beginners, my dear sons and daughters. Because this Quranic program is meant for the beginners, not for scholars and learned people. I myself an ordinary student of Quran. Please take care. So we're studying to verse number 23. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Wa in kuntum fi raib, if you are in any kind of doubt, mimma nazzalna ala abdina, regarding what we have revealed or sent down to our servant, that's Muhammad, peace be upon him, fa'tu bi suratin min misli, then bring a chapter like it. Wad'u shuhada'akum, call upon your witnesses or supporters. Min dunillah, other than Allah, in kuntum sadiqin, if you are truthful. Fa'in lam taf'alu, if you cannot do it. Walan taf'alu, and certainly you can never do it. Fattakun nar, then fear the fire. Allati waquduha an-nas wal hijara, whose fuel shall become humans and stones. Uiddat lil kafirin, which has been prepared for deliberate rejectors of it. وَبَشِرِ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, and give glad tidings and good news, O Muhammad, peace be upon him, to those who believe. وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, and do good deeds. أَنَّ لَهُمْ جَنَّةً, that surely for them are reserved gardens, تَجْرِي مِن تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارُ, beneath which flow streams. كُلَّمَا رُزِقُوا مِنْهَا مِنْ ثَمَرَةٍ رِزْقًا, whenever there will be provided provisions in the form of fruits to them, قالوا, they'll say, هذا الذي رزقنا من قبل, such things were provided us even before. وَأُتُوا بِهِ مُتَشَابِهًا, they will be having only external resemblances. وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا أَزْوَاجٌ مُطَهَّرَةٌ, and for them there will be pure spouses for them. وَهُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ, and they shall abide therein, they shall live there forever. Sadaqallahul Azim. As I told you just last time, that after dividing people, humankind, into three groups: true believers, outright rejectors of faith, and hypocrites. Quran explains what message is to be conveyed to the whole humankind. Last time we made the first message is that, O people, worship God, your Lord, because He is your creator and creator of heavens and earth and everything. So this is the basis of faith. Surrender and submission before the will of God. That is in fact the literal meaning of word Islam. This is the first thing. Second thing is to believe in revelation. There's a God whom we have to worship, who is the creator, Lord, nourisher and cherisher. If He has provided us everything for our physical developments, food, shelter, and clothing, everything, all the comforts, everything we need. But simultaneously, through divine revelations, He has provided us guidance for proper utilization of our capacity and capabilities, so that we move towards eternal bliss, so that we are morally not corrupt but peaceful and good, and spiritually we are closer to God and Creator, and will be rewarded accordingly. Humans will be rewarded. So that's why the second message which is to be conveyed is about the divine revelation. That's what Quran talks about this. وَإِن كُنْتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ, O people, if you are still in any kind of doubt, مِمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَى عَبْدِنَا, about what we have sent down on our servant, that's Muhammad, peace be upon him, that if you are in doubt, because people around, whether there were polytheists, idolaters, infidels, or people of the book, so-called people of the book, Jews and Christians, they would not accept divine revelation of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. They would reject it. They would mock at Prophet, peace be upon him. God forbid, they would call him Majnoon. God forbid, Nauzubillah, he is mentally deranged. He is talking some incoherent he's talking about. He's fabricating. Sometimes they say he's fabricating all these things himself, and they're telling people it is from God. It is his self-creation. They used to say like this. In response to this, it said, okay, if you have a problem, Muhammad, peace be upon him, is presenting himself as a prophet, which he is, perfect prophet, a true and honest prophet, and he is asking you to believe in this divine revelation. He's inviting you for the perfect guidance on the basis of this revelation, and you are rejecting this revelation, calling it as self-creation, his own project of his own mental activity, and not believing in the divine origin of revelation. Okay, no problem. We have a small challenge for you. Let's imagine, see Muhammad, peace be upon him, you know him well, how he was born, when he was born, how he grew up, and did he ever go to any schooling? Did he ever know reading or writing? Could he ever write an alphabet or a single letter? Number one, you know it well, better, people of Medina, you know it, opponents of Prophet. You are saying that Muhammad, peace be upon him, is preparing this fantastic book as Quran based on revelation himself. Okay, if you have any kind of doubt, if you are sincere in judging it, yes, there's a challenge. وَإِن كُنْتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ, if you are in any kind of doubt مِمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَىٰ عَبْدِنَا, regarding this, what we are sending down, this Quran on our servant, that's Muhammad, peace be upon him, فَاتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِثْلِهِ, then bring a chapter, just a surah like it. Not only that, on one hand, there's a single individual, that's Muhammad, peace be upon him, so-called unlettered prophet. He had not learned anything from anywhere, no schooling, no education, no poetry he knew, he didn't know. Now, on the other hand, you are asked to produce a chapter, but not only an individual. We don't tell you that you let anybody come forward and produce a book like it. No, it is challenge to the whole humankind. Quran says, "Fatu bi surati min misli." You come all together, bring a chapter like this. Wad'u shuhadaakum min dunillah. Call upon your supporters, one and all, whosoever you can, whose services and guidance you would like to have. Get their assistance, get their guidance, get support, create research academies, bring all the scholars together, and then putting all the efforts, mental and physical efforts together to produce a chapter like Quran, which is being presented by an unlettered prophet, Muhammad Nabi al-Ummi, before you. Which you are challenging that it is not, God forbid, his own brainchild. He's producing it, fabricating himself. It's not an individual you are being challenged. We are telling you, get all the supporters from whether they are learned or not, whether they're scholars, scientists, philosophers, all bring them together and then put your efforts and make a chapter like Quran. If you are truthful, you know, this challenge was taken up by the opponents of Islam, right in the time of the Prophet and even afterwards. All the efforts were made to prepare, make a book or a chapter like Quran, but they utterly failed. There was a miserable defeat for them. Nobody could produce it. We see in Quran itself, in chapter Bani Israel, Quran says, "Kul, tell them, O Muhammad, peace be upon him, if all humans and all the invisible beings, that is jinns, put their efforts together. They put all their efforts together to make a book like this Quran. La yatuna bimisli. They can never create a book like this. They can never present or prepare a book like this. Walau kana ba'dhum li ba'dhum zahira. Even if they put all their efforts and they support each other, they cannot produce a book like this. This is a Quranic challenge. When they failed in this challenge, Quran lowered its challenge. Oh Muhammad, now they are not in a position to produce a book. Tell them now. Now you cannot produce a full book. Just make or prepare or produce or present just 10 chapters or 10 surahs like it. Efforts were made, their miserable defeat, they couldn't. Now this is the third challenge. Quran law was, now you are not in a position to produce a book, not even 10 chapters or surahs. Now, okay, Fatu bi Surati Mimithli, as in this verse. Now come forward and prepare or produce just one chapter like it. In kuntum sadiqin, and put all your efforts together. Need not to come an individual forward and bring all your witnesses, all supporters together to produce a chapter like it. In kuntum sadiqin, if you are truthful. So this is a challenge. That's why Quran says, but be sure. Now you have challenged Quran, and Quran has accepted this challenge. It has thrown ball in your basket now. It's now ball in your court. That produce a chapter. But be sure. Now they are told, fine lam tafulu, but take one thing in mind. Take one thing. Fine lam tafulu, if you cannot do it. Walan tafulan, certainly you can never do it. If you don't still believe in divine origin of Quran, because there's no option left with you, then you have to accept. You have brought all scholars, all learned people in groups and academics and researchers together to produce a chapter like it, which you feel that is the brainchild of a, God forbid, an unlettered Muhammad, peace upon him. Okay, now if you are not in a position to produce a chapter like it, that means you have to surrender before its greatness. You have to accept Quran as having divine origin. But if you still, Quran says, if you don't do it, and surely never can you do it, then you have to accept divine origin of Quran. But if you still don't, then fattakun nar, then fear the fire. Waqudha nas wal hijara, whose fuel shall be humans and rocks and stones. That means you have to prepare yourself. Then you are deliberately rejecting. You are rejecting out of arrogance, out of hatred and jealousy. You have no argument. You have no option now left to reject divine origin of Quran, because this is a challenge. But if you still don't believe, then be prepared for the worst punishment, worst chastisement. Be prepared for fire of hell. Because if you still don't believe, your challenge, we have accepted the challenge. Now we are putting a ball in your court, present a chapter like it. If you don't do, and you will can never do it, then you have to believe. If you still don't believe, then fear the fire. فَاتَّقُوا النَّارَ الَّتِي وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ, whose fuel should be stones, rocks, and humans. It is about the intensity. Burning rocks means intensity, high intensity fire. Or rocks or stones may mean that which infidels, idolaters used to fabricate gods, their images. On stone, false gods. It may be referring to that too. Or it may mean the intensity of fire, in which rocks can be turned into fire, in high intensity fire. Humans means deliberate rejectors who shall become part of that fuel. But this is about the rejectors. But Quran simultaneously says, okay, there may be some people, surely, who feel, yes, this Quran cannot be word of Muhammad, peace upon him. It has to have a divine origin, word of God. And they are convinced with it. They believe in Allah. They believe in his messenger Muhammad, peace upon him. And simultaneously, that means they believe in the divine origin of Quran to be word of God for guidance of humankind. Now Quran says, وَبَشِّرِ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Simultaneously, those, O Muhammad, give good news and glad tidings to those who believe, that means who believe in Allah, the true message, and the message bearer Muhammad, peace upon him. There are some people around, they are like that. Give good news to them. If they are to be punished, the first category people, rejectors, deliberate rejectors, in burning fire. But believers, Bashir al-Ladina Aman, what is going to be their fate? Give good news and glad tidings to those who believe. Not only believe, just believe, by their lips or with their verbal declaration. Wa'amil salat, who also do good deeds. They substantiate their faith by their practical deeds. There are some people like that. Give them good news. that anna lahum jannat, that for them surely there will be gardens. That means gardens in the life hereafter, gardens of paradise, place of comfort and peace and perfect place to live in. Anna lahum jannat, surely for them will be gardens, tajri min tahtiha al-anhar, beneath which will be flowing streams. That is comfort at its climax, the best of the best places. So if you cannot imagine what that gardens of paradise will be like, though Quran gives an example like this: Jannat in gardens, tajri min tahtiha al-anhar, beneath which flow streams, kullama ruziku minha min samarati rizqan. Whenever they will be provided all kinds of fruits as a provision for you, they will be presented everything there, fruits, everything, whatever they need. But one thing is to be taken care. We should not confuse gardens of paradise with worldly gardens. Flowing streams of gardens of paradise, the way we see here, flowing streams and glasses. Fruits as we find here, apple and pear, orange and banana, pomegranates and other so good fruits. No, don't confuse them with this. It is just make people, believers, feel and give them full satisfaction and good news that for their belief and for their good deeds in this world, they will be duly rewarded. Because even Prophet, peace upon him, said in a great hadith related by Abu Huraira in Bukhari and Muslim, the Messenger of Allah said that for pious and righteous people, Allah has prepared for them the favors in the gardens of paradise, the things which no eye has ever seen, which no ear has ever heard, and which no mind or brain has ever comprehended. Such will be their presentations in life hereafter. So this, whatever we see, gardens and flowing streams, and sometimes we see there will be honey, there will be flowing milk, so delicious fruits. It is just a form of an example. What actually will be there, no human mind or brain or eyes or ears have ever heard or seen or even thought of. So Quran says, وَبَشِّرِ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, and give good news and glad tidings to those who believe, وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, and do good deeds, أَنَّ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتٍ, surely for them will be gardens. This is in contrast to those who reject. Still, deliberately reject, for them will be fire, fire and fire. And for these true believers and who substantiate their faith by their good deeds, for them will be gardens beneath which flow streams. كُلَّمَا رُزِقُوا مِنْهَا مِنْ ثَمَرَةِ رِزْقٍ, whenever they will be provided there in those gardens of bliss in the life hereafter, they will be provided all kinds of fruits as a provision. Qalu, they'll say, by looking at those fruits, they'll say, هَذَا الَّذِي رُزِقْنَا مِنْ قَبْلِ, these things were provided even before. There can be many different explanations. Some commentators feel that it should perhaps imply, or it may mean, that once they are provide some kinds of fruits, looking at the fruits from a distance, they would feel that these are the same fruits which we used to find in the world. But once they taste those fruits, you will find them entirely different. Though from a distance they may appear the same as worldly fruits. This kind. Another explanation is like this: a true believer, when he reads Quran, who believes in divine origin of Quran, who believes in truthfulness and honest Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, and when he reads, he's not just a reader. He has 100% faith in Quran. And when we read in Quran, it sees what we see from our ancestors, awliya and pious and righteous people. We also read Quran, we also recite, but nothing, we are same, we don't change. But whenever they would read Quran, when they would read about the gardens of paradise, such was their faith. They used to feel the fragrance of the gardens of paradise. When they would read about the fruits, they would feel as if they are there. And then when they would hear about, read in Quran about hell and fire, they would shiver with fear. They would get frightened. Oh, Allah save us from this fire. That's a true faith we are expected to have. And when to such people, in the gardens of paradise, fruits will be provided, they will feel these are the same things which were provided to us through Quran. When we used to read Quran, fruits, we used to visualize these are fruits. But when they start eating or taking those fruits, they'll feel it is even beyond that what we used to comprehend by reading Quran. So these are various levels of spiritual evolution and different meanings up to that standard. Quran says, "O Muhammad, peace be upon him, give good news and glad tidings to those who believe and do good deeds, that surely for them will be gardens beneath which flow streams. Whenever they will provide fruits therein, they'll say, these are the things which we were provided before. But they will be having only external resemblances, not the real worldly fruits. They'll be entirely different, which no eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no mind has even imagined or comprehended that. And for them there will be azwaj. Azwaj is a plural of zawj. Zawj doesn't necessarily mean wife. Zawj in Arabic means, in fact, spouse. What means spouse? For a male, wife, female is his spouse. Or for a female, his spouse, her spouse is her husband. As you know, we fill forms nowadays, with passport forms or any forms for admission or any visa form, etc. Both males and females apply for passports or visas. There's a column, name, parentage, and then name of the spouse. If a male is filling the form, name of the spouse, what does that mean? He has to write name of his wife, right? A female is also applying for visa, passport. The column comes, name of spouse. What shall she write? She writes name of her husband because he is her spouse. So zawj is Arabic equivalent. That means for in Gardens of Paradise there shall be a true companionship based on purity, perfection. And don't confuse. One thing is to be made clear. We get generally confused about it. Like Quran says, there will be fruits. Those fruits in paradise are not to be confused with the fruits of this world. Here we eat, whether fruits, whether flesh, meat, mutton, everything we eat. It is for our sustenance of our life. If we don't eat, we'll die. It is necessary for our growth. Others will suffer, we get weakened. But or sometimes we may die. These fruits of paradise cannot be confused with that, because we know once a person enters paradise, whether he's male or female, he will not suffer from aging. Neither will be born there, nor anybody is going to die, or nor will be any aging. All will be young, and they will continue to be young for all times to come. They will be. So that means the fruits are food stuff. What Quran conveys us, it is not the food which is to be confused with worldly things. It's just comforts, exhibition of comforts, glad tidings of perfect comforts in the life to come. Similarly, here we see in this world we marry, male, female, man, get married. They derive pleasure out of it. And then it's responsible for procreation. And next generation comes into being. So these are sexual relations. But that's not in paradise. Nobody will be born there. As nobody dies, nobody will be born. So the male-female relations of paradise should not be confused with sexual relations of this present world. There's a confusion which we don't try to understand. That will be comfort. It's only for comfort, perfect companionship. That's it. وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا أَزْوَاجٌ. For them will be spouses. For a male, female, of course, wives. But mutahhara, pure. Pure, what is pure? Pure means pure in their physically pure, morally pure, psychologically pure, spiritually pure in its entirety. Perfect male-female relationship, which normally is not possible here. We have rarest of the rare when there is a companionship between male and female. There are either lopsidedness. Some pious person, male, gets a wicked woman. And it's vice versa. Some very good, pious, God-fearing woman, her husband is not up to her standard. And there's hardly any equation between the two, but the companionship in the life hereafter will be perfect. It will be some peace and purity. وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا أَزْوَاجٌ مُطَهَّرَةٌ. For them will be spouses pure. And last but not the least, هُمْ فِيهَا وَهُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. They shall live there forever, which is not in this world possible. Even if we get all the comforts here. But either I am going to die or those comforts will be no more. But about the life hereafter, especially the gardens of the paradise, what will be provided with, that's no end to it. It is for infinite period of time, which makes those comforts something extraordinarily special. Because they are going to, وَهُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ, they shall abide therein. There shall be no end to them. They'll never die, nor shall those comforts be anytime withdrawn from them. There will be in perfect state of mind. صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم والحمد لله رب العالمين.